Hey, everybody, listen, Diva back. I just flew back in today. I had a really good time. Listen, half the time I don't even know where I be going because my friends plan these trips, and it was a girlfriend's birthday celebration. And I actually stayed in Sonoma, California. If you love that store, William in Sonoma, I was in the original store that started everything. I had an amazing time out there. Sonoma, California is a quaint little town. Absolutely amazing and beautiful. Good food. I went to a lot of great restaurants. I went to a museum. I went on a train ride. Had a really good time. Yes. And while I was going, a lot was going down, a lot was happening. But we back here today. We back on our grind now because unless somebody else invites me somewhere interesting, it's probably my summer trips are done. My summer trips are done. But I had an amazing time out there and lucked up. Lucked up because out in that town of Sonoma, there was a museum, and that museum happened to have been featuring a Black artist. I mean, talking about luck. I mean, the good luck was just slapping me in the face. Thank you, God. I loved it. So I had a really good time. Met some amazing people. I met this couple that was married 40 years. Been married 40 years. 40 years. Okay. But they just, they gave me a lot of tips on, how to just stay together and keep it together. I said, first, we got to pray for my king to arrive. Obviously, he's lost, and somebody, see him out there, send him my way. But I had a really good time. Give him GPS, a MapQuest, something. He lost. He's lost. But listen, don't send the foolery my way. I'll stay single forever first. I'm not dealing with the foolery. And yes, I will be getting a prenup. You're not taking my townhouse. We're not doing that. But y'all know that story. Y'all know me well. So if y'all see him, send him my way. Now listen, guys, we got stuff to talk about tonight. Friends. How many of us have them? We use the word too loosely sometimes. Yeah, we do. So I want to know how many of us out there really have some true friends. And can I tell y'all this? Because I'm going to keep it 100 with you. A true friend is not somebody that you have to physically see every day. You don't have to talk to them every day. You can have a friend in a person you never physically met. Because I got a lot of people I consider that I met off of this YouTube. I consider them true friends. Yes, I do. Friends. How many of us have them? Okay, some people, they confuse people they never even met or spoke to as their friend, and the people they spoke to and has poured into them, their heart, mind, body, and soul, they stabbed them in the back in a hot minute. How many of us have them? How many of us know the definition of friend? How many people can appreciate a friend when they get one? Sometimes y'all be praying, God, send me good friends, send me good people, and he send them, and y'all throw them in the trash. How many of us have them? Kenya Moore, where I was going, it became official, fired. She can put it up in a package with a bow and dress it up any way she wants. But at the end of the day, she was fired. They catch Shereé, Shereé coming out the Whole Foods, pushing her cart with her 2 bags in it. Talking about, oh, it's messed up what happened to Kenya. Shereé, they did it to you 10 times over. Nobody came and stood 10 toes down for you. Shereé been let go, fired, held the peach, didn't held the peach, came back as a friend, left as a friend, all kinds of nonsense. And now her and Candy Burris is in the streets talking about Kenya was done wrong. And you see how Bravo did that thing? They said we was never investigating her over no revenge P. We was investigating to see what law she broke, what rules she broke. Yeah, Shereé Brown, now she had 2 bags from the Whole Foods. Then talking about, oh, the show not going to survive without any OGs on it. Girl, the show wasn't surviving with all the OGs on it. What are you talking about? The show is tanking. And then Kenya Moore put the nail in the coffin. And you know, while I was on the plane, I was watching, and I watched this movie before, and I absolutely love it. The movie 42, based on what's the name? Jackie Robinson, I want to say, right? The baseball player. Based on him. And you know what they said in that movie? And I'm a paraphrase because I can't quote the whole thing. The guy was telling him when he put him in the league, he said, you can't go low like they go low. He said, they're going to tempt you. They're going to call you names. He said, I need you to be strong enough not to respond to them trying to drag you down in the gutter. He said, why? Because you got something bigger to do here. Send a memo to the rest of these girls on these reality shows. You got something bigger to do here. You broke a boundary in the industry that does not respect the Black entertainers. Ask Taraji P. Henson. And let me tell you something. Just because I call something out don't mean I don't like the person, but Taraji made a whole fool of herself on the BET Awards. Flirting with people's husbands, messing up people's names. Don't host a show if you're not going to be able to pronounce the people's names right or get the whole message right. She was doing the most. They gave her a job because they heard that she was broke, so Black Hollywood trying to hire her. But Taraji. But let me go back to the point at hand. Too much is given, much is required. Don't let them drag you down in the gutter. Go watch it. I'm telling you, I promise you. I watched it again on the plane, 42. I didn't get to the end because my plane landed. But I've seen the movie before. But when they said that part, when the guy that gave him the job, and he took a whole chance, because that was back in days where they really did not like Black people. He said, they're going to tempt you. They're going to call you names. They're going to say you don't belong here. And he said, if you respond, they're never going to hear what the other person said. They're only going to hear what you said. So for all those people that want to list all the other shows where they acted a fool, they got away with it, but you didn't, Kenya. But life twirls on. So let's talk about the next person here. Wendy Williams. You see how they could do us dirty no matter what? Wendy Williams worked all her life. Her blood, sweat, and tears. We ain't talking about whether you liked her or not, whether she was wrong, what she said, when she was sharp with the tongue. We're not talking about anything like that. That woman was not on the street selling drugs. She was not in the street putting poison into the neighborhood. Unfortunately, allegedly, somebody was selling the poison to her, but that's a whole nother story. She worked. She worked. She got up every morning, she put her clothes on, and she worked. And she saved her money in the bank. She wasn't spitting on her money. Now, her husband might have been spitting on it and just spilling it out everywhere, but Wendy Williams saved up that money. Did y'all ever hear about Wendy Williams filing for bankruptcy? Okay, you got the Tony Braxtons out there that filed 3, 4, 5 times. Did you ever hear about Wendy coming on somebody camera talk about she ain't got it? No. This woman worked every day, saved up her money. Her girlfriend Regina, she said she had $55 million in Wells Fargo's bank because she saw the paperwork. She saw the paperwork. And she said Wendy was in talks of moving her money from Wells Fargo to Bank of America. Now, let me tell you this, because y'all don't even try to come over here to Jersey. Don't try to come for me, because y'all ain't going to get much. But I have more than one bank account. Don't keep all your money in one bank. Because see what happens? When they're going to get you, they got all your money. I got several bank accounts. Yes, I do. I got a savings in one bank account. I have 2 checking accounts. Don't keep all your money in one bank account. So her girlfriend Red said that Wendy had $55 million in Wells Fargo. She was in talks to move her money to Bank of America. At the time, she already had the guardianship. Told the guardian what she wanted to do, and then Red said the next thing you know, the guardian calls Wendy talking about you ain't got no money. Where did they do that at? How is it legal that they stole Wendy Williams' money? We got to be more in an uproar. We got to protect each other. You know, on this girls' trip I went on this weekend, my girlfriend's girlfriend, she's a real estate agent. She gonna come up here and talk to us about the whole real estate situation. She gonna talk to us about how that Section 8 is a trap for the Black people. You want to know why? Because to keep it, you can't make over $2. So they keep you in this vicious cycle. But I'm gonna let her come talk to y'all. She dropped a lot of little knowledge in my ear. So I had a stress-free, however many days I was gone, and I was getting some education just by having Grow Chat. Can I just say this real quick to the Black people? You know what our problem is too? We don't trust each other. It's a shame. It's terrible. It's terrible. We don't trust each other. No, we do not. It's terrible. And that's why we stay right where we at. How many years past slavery and we still in it? It's just a modern day slavery. That's all. We do not trust each other. We allow the poison to be in our neighborhoods. We tear up our own neighborhoods. We talk about each other. We call each other names. And we think it's cute. We think it's cute to call our girlfriend a bitch. The men think it's an honor to say, yo, that's mine in the N-word. But I'm not here to talk about that tonight. Let me move forward and say that we're going to talk about Wendy Williams and this $55 million. Now, her family, to me, should be kicking up sand. I would be in the news every day. Every publication that would hear me, I would be talking to them. Give me back my sister and give me back my money. And if the Guardian spent it all, I would sue Wells Fargo. Give me back her $55 million. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Then we're going to talk about Ray J. Friends, how many of us have them? Ray J, they had a little break. He puts up this whole social media post saying he wants to unalive, or he feels like he's going to unalive himself or something to that degree. And he said he can't keep the secrets no more. Hollywood is a beast. And listen, this is just Diva's opinion right now. You know what I feel like? I feel like something very sinister happened the day that Wendy Williams left this world. I feel like Ray J knows a lot, not saying a lot, and I think it's been eating away at him ever since. I also think Ray J does a little dibble dabble. I do. And let me tell you something about the substances. Many people feel they're in control of the substance, but let's be clear, the substance isn't in control of you. It is. Oh, I could stop, I could stop smoking Mary Jane whenever I want. Then the second they don't smoke it, they acting crazy, cursing everybody out, yelling, screaming. We gotta wake up. We like to use these sayings, stay woke. Well, you're not gonna be woke if you keep putting all of that in your body and altering your mind and your thought process. Yeah, I saw Ray J's interview. It was interesting. He does. He really does. And it's sad. And you know what? Let me say this about Ray J and Brandy's mother. You know, they're a smart woman. And I want to say the Brandy's parents are still married, Brandy and Ray J. I want to say that. I have to look it up. But in terms of this entertainment industry, they did pretty well as parents. But we're going to talk about it. Listen, y'all. I hope y'all hit the like button as you're coming in the building. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Diva is working. Came from a whole nother time zone. But you want to know what's funny? The difference in time, maybe it's going to hit me later. I don't know, but it really didn't hit me yet. I guess because I was so stress-free. I had such a good time. I really did. I had a ball. So listen, guys, y'all know what y'all need to do because I'm about to bring the people on in the building. We got stuff to talk about tonight. Friends, how many of us have them? Hit the like button. I need a one in the chat. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Monday night, trending topics, and I'm back in the building, okay? Friends, how many of us have them? Kenya Moore, wish her the best, but her friends are helping her stay delusional. It's messy. We got Wendy Williams. How does one rob somebody out of $55 million? It's not even fair. It's not right. $55 million. And then we got Ray J out here crying for help. Crying for help. That's a cry for help. I hope his family does an intervention. Out in these streets partying, about to fight somebody. Went to his car to get a bag, and lucky the friend stopped him. And he comes and posts the next day talking about, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's at a breaking point. Somebody need to step in and help out. Listen, let me go ahead and load this train. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva, welcome back. What about your friends? And welcome to the night train.
Come on now. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Julius. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Wayne.
Welcome back.
Hey, Sebastian. All right, y'all. The people in the building, the train is about to pull out the station. I don't know. Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody. Okay. Hey, Dustin. All right. Listen, we got a seat open in the building in case you want to come on through, but we're about to get this thing started. I'm going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and talk about Miss Kenya Moore and get this thing out the way. I think that, the people going back and forth, she going to sue, she not going to sue, she this, she that, whatever the case may be, she's weighing out her options. The options are, hey, Dustin, the door is closed. The door is closed. The door is And sometimes, you know what, you realize after the fact, I messed up on the best, a good thing. A good thing. It ain't easy from a job to rake in 90K a month. It's not easy. That 90K she getting a month is somebody's yearly salary. And she gets to have, for the most part, fun making that 90K a month. Imagine you dress up, you maybe have to show up to an event with your castmates. You get to go on a cash trip. You get to go on vacation while working. Where they do that at? And you mess that up. Yeah, she ain't got no option. So let me go ahead and get into this story. Where the Kenya Moore story at? Let's do this. So Kenya Moore makes defiant statement amid conflicting reports about her royal exit. You will never destroy a queen. Okay. Kenya Moore was recently sent out a defiant message amid conflicting stories about the details of her royal season 16 exit. Our previously reported Tween Twirl has been in a tizzy over the news that Kenya won't be returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, with some report claiming she was fired and others alleging that she's taking a break with an option to return. The confusion continues as blogger B. Scott is doubling down on their report that she was fired amid another outlet alleging otherwise. Love B. Scott reports that sources close to the situation said Kenya was booted after violating production's code of conduct clause by blowing up photos of Brittany Ely seemingly performing oral. And you know what? Okay. So Love B. Scott exclusive Kenya Moore was suspended, then fired after the investigation determined she violated the code of conduct details. Scott sources allege that she retaliated after alleging that Edie made a pow threat toward her. Something Patience reports the insurance agent denied. It was clear Kenya went through great lengths to antagonize her, a source told Love B. Scott. These photos they are not easily accessible on the internet. Otherwise, they'd be circulating right now. She not only got the photos from somewhere, but also got posters made. That's not something you would do to somebody who allegedly threatened you with a pow. And listen, the last time, we try to talk to you over here, but it's okay. I said to several people, I said, if they so easily accessible online, I said, where they at? Now, I don't want you to send it to me, but I said, where they at? Everyone, especially production, was shocked that Kenya would do this in front of a room full of people. Okay, that's Brittany Edie. The outlet source adds that Kenya was not accused of revenge P and ultimately sabotaged herself by sharing the Brittany Edie photos of her own volition. It was about determining if Kenya actions involving sexually explicit images violated the code of conduct, and they did. She can point fingers all she wants, but she has nobody to blame but herself. While outside sources say Kenya considering legal actions, we're told neither production nor the network are concerned because no one decided to show those images but Kenya Moore. Okay, there's a lot of there's a lot of chatter around whether or not Kenya's been fired, and she has. Love B. Scott added. Her time with the network is done, and the decision was made for her. B. Scott report comes amid an allegation that Kenya actually wasn't fired, but chose to leave. Now, she ain't choose to leave behind no 90K a month check. Also, let me say this. They caught Shereé, and I ain't even playing that nonsense. They caught Shereé out at the Whole Foods, and Shereé's like, oh, they did Kenya dirty. The show's not going to survive without her. She's claiming it's tanking without her, and that Shereé says she will go back for the right coin. Shereé, stop. They're done with you too, boo. Leo, your thoughts?
To be honest with you, they was ready to pay Candy her money, but once she left, they wasn't really ready to pay anybody that type of money. They'd rather have a Brittany Edie before Kenya Moore because Brittany Edie is cheaper. Kenya is the one that gave that check back to them. She gave them the opportunity for them to strike her out on the bottom line of the money, and she gave them the opportunity to do that. That is really what is on her. The truth of the matter is that nobody was checking for Kenya before she got on the Housewives. Do us real grown people here on the panel know about Kenya and her being Miss USA? We remember Kenya. We remember Kenya from back in the days. But before she got on Housewives, nobody was checking for Kenya. And she should have realized that before she started playing foolish games with her own paycheck. So these people get to hire and fire based on the rules. And just like Felicia said the other night, they make the rules, break the rules at their own discretion, at their own prerogative. They change the rules on you. Everybody else can do this, that, and the other. We can pull it all up, chapter and verse. All the people that broke the rules. But like I always say, just because everybody doing 55, everybody doing 75 in the 55 lane, when they pull over the white car and you driving the white car, tag you're it. It don't really matter who else was all speeding. They pulled you. You was doing 75 in the 55. You gets the ticket. And it's nothing you can do about it. All this stuff about, legal action and whether or not she was discriminated against and all this other kind of stuff, maybe she can have that conversation. But there was an easier way to be able to leave there and not make a fuss. And these people are trying to limit their liability and pay these Bravo celebrities because they all making too much money. It ain't pulling in the ratings like it used to. Atlanta Housewives used to be the ish. Now it's going down the toilet. And for them, for what they see, they will put your paycheck back at their bottom line as profit, Kenya. And that's really what it came down to. Why keep you when we could get 3 of you for cheaper?
That's facts.
That's it.
That's facts. Felicia, your thoughts?
Child. Cheap. Hey, everybody. Welcome back, Diva. We missed you. Welcome back, chat. I missed everybody. Missed the panel. But I ain't missed this Kenya BS. Listen, so we now know, and I'm going to say it a little slower.
Oh, shoot.
We now know that Miss Moore signed off on a code of conduct.
Oh, good God.
Okay? So those of you who are in the workplace, maybe you've been looking, maybe you've been there, maybe you don't remember, but there's this thing called onboarding, and they tell you sign this and sign that. Look at this, read this, and sign that. And I know many of us, you're starting a new job or something, you're a little overwhelmed, you just start scribbling your signature down. But then if you recall, when you're there for a while, they'll send you a little reminder that you got to take this harassment class. You got to take it by such and such a time. They also send you things about rules every day. There isn't anybody who's going to a job and you're logging on to your work site and you don't see that statement that comes up that reminds you of what the rules are before you can log on. They remind you that this is their property and that they have access to this 24/7, 365 days a year. According to B. Scott, it was a code of conduct, which is also what you call that employee handbook that E was so gracious to bring to our attention and that I read to you guys. And so it is clear that she signed it. Now, did she read it? I don't know. But they had her signature and they said that she breached that. I wish her well in her future endeavors. I hope she invested wisely. And hopefully, none of them coming back. That's what I say. None of them coming back. Okay. Bye.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, Special K, a lot of jobs call it in services. Yeah, a lot of jobs call it an in service. But either way, they make sure they educate you. Katrina, you're up.
Hello, chat. Back, Diva's back off the wine train. She on the soul train tonight. Okay, we got you. Listen, as we already said, Kenya did that to Kenya. And with like Leo was saying, no, they had downgraded Candy amount of pay because the work that she was putting in, she wasn't bringing in that big of an audience anymore because Candy was out doing other stuff. Candy was only on that show just to promote her other businesses, really, because she was really everything they was doing. Remember last season, she wasn't there, she couldn't get there, and all that type of stuff. They needed to free that budget up for Portia to come back. But I don't know what this. I think he got a large sum for returning and whatsoever. And the more they can keep money, and like you said, the new people are not getting paid like the OGs was getting paid. And like you said about Shereé, girl, they got rid of you 5 times. And you talking about the money wasn't right for you. You all about the money. And you trying to charge somebody $260 for a little shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie. She has lost her mind. She knew them folks weren't going to bring her back in the first place because she always get let go quickly. Like Leo, Felicia, and everybody else said, Diva, you said too, that Kenya messed up her own bag. Nobody messed up her bag. She did it herself. Nobody want Kenya out on the streets. Kenya should have thought about that situation before she went did what she did. We didn't tell Kenya to go do it. She did it. And if she's supposed to be so intelligent and so well versed and know everything about the business and all that, because you say you got a production company, then you should know what not to bring to somebody else's production on their set. So she caused her own self the situation that she's in. And hopefully Mark hopefully Mark will pay his child support, but I doubt that when he got how many customers, Felicia? 3. So she caused her own mishaps. Nobody did it to Kenya. Kenya did it to herself. And like I said, karma is like a boomerang. It's gonna come back and hit you in the forehead. The way that she did people on that show, now the stuff came back and hit her. See, she thought she was untouchable because she was doing this stuff for the longest and getting away with it. But when you went on Carlos King and you bashed these people, you honestly think these people finna look out for you when they're not even looking out for Andy, because look at the situation that Andy brought them. So all I can say is good luck, Kenya. We'll see you when we see you. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now hold on. Let's see Shereé talk real quick. I'll just go ahead and throw this in there. Is it gonna play? Let's see. All right. Savannah, while I'm waiting for it to try to play, go ahead and talk.
Well, welcome back, Diva, and it's great to be back in the panel again amongst family. I, like Felicia, am hoping to see the end of this story. And I recently saw Kenya made a comment that she had proof, but that would clear her name. And I'm still waiting to see, why hasn't she released it yet? And she made the statement that her conscience was clean, as well, that her and her baby girl would continue to rise and thrive in a non-toxic environment, if I remember quoting her correctly.
You're quoting it correctly.
Okay, I say all that to say that Kenya, you partook in this toxic environment that you are so now glad to be out of. You came on this show being problematic and has been allowed to just twirl season after season, attacking whether it's housemates, housewives, castmates, or even friends of this show. And I'm just glad to see her gone. But until Kenya starts taking accountability for not just this latest stunt that she pulled, but all the others that Kenya has been getting away with for so many years. Kenya, I don't see her back on our screens, and just to go back to last night, seeing Will Smith, I never thought I would see Will Smith coming back out. Besides seeing him in the movies, but seeing him come back out last night on the BET Awards, I saw him starting to take steps to kind of right the wrong that he has done. And I know Will has said sorry and taken some forms of accountability. Kenya's going to need to go through all the things that Will had to go through and continues to go through in order to be embraced again by by the community and on our screens in some form or fashion. But I wish her well as well, and I'm just hope this story goes away soon.
I do too, and I agree with you. Let's hear Shereé speak.
Hey, so what's your reaction to Kenya Moore leaving Real Housewives?
Oh my gosh, I hate to see my girl Kenya go out like that, but as an OG, it's kind of hard to sit back and watch the show kind of slowly sink the way it is. So I'm not happy. I don't like it.
You got any advice for her going forward?
Advice for Kenya? Listen, Kenya is a savage. I know she's not going down easy or quick, so we just gotta sit back and wait and see what happens. You know.
You ever thought about going back?
As an OG, yeah. I always feel like an OG's presence is always welcome or needed on the series, no matter what capacity. So I never say never. If the coin is right, I just might.
And what do you think that would need to be?
The money. The money. She's all about her money, her paper.
And why'd you leave?
Why did I leave? Because the coin wasn't right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
They paid her for that BS, or she paid down? It's a damn thing.
Julius, you're up.
Lord, Shereé can hush. Hush. Girl, bye.
Thank you, Julius. Sebastian, you're up.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys today? It's been a long time.
Yes, doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good, especially that we're talking about this today. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, number one, I will always say this. Whatever happened, and if there are consequences, Kenya has to face those consequences, as everyone faces consequences in life. But that does not take away the success of her career on this network and channel for the many years that she's been here, and the success she's done just being the Kenya Moore, being the second Black Miss USA, and advancing to the top 5 of Miss Universe last time I checked. We're not going to take that away from her. Kenya is a queen. She's an icon to Bravo. There are many icons, Kenya, Nene, and many more, Teresa, and many more. Shereé has every right to say what she said, and I think it's very important what Shereé said. And she's right. They probably were not going to pay Shereé. Shereé was probably not going to get paid as much because, remember, Shereé's an OG. She's from season 1. So obviously the network chose that, we don't have the money for you. We're not really bringing in that much revenue anymore. We're not bringing all these views anymore. Ever since, Nene left, everything has been going to hell on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The ratings are not rating anymore. It's just, it's too much. At this point, the whole show they could just throw away. That's it.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Sebastian. Lakeisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Did Shereé really need an entire buggy for 2 small bags of groceries? Glad you're back, Diva. Choo, choo. Choo, choo. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay, but Kenya isn't no one's icon. Okay, so let me see. Where we at? Tay, you're up.
I said, welcome back again, Diva. We miss you.
Miss you back.
I said, Kendra, you better zip it. Nah. I don't want to hear it. I think we all get tired of this right here. God, I better not hear her what is it called, her beauty shop. I always just concentrate your baby. And I hope you ain't get married again with that no good, that first husband you had, the first place. I hope you ain't gonna get no married again. Because child, you playing a child game. I said goodbye, Felicia, aka Kendra Moore. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Emmanuel, you're up.
Hi. So I saw that Brittany went on her Instagram and said, "Why is there TMZ in Atlanta?" She was kind of throwing shade. And then Shereé said, "Why are there scammers in Atlanta?" Something like that. So I'm wondering if maybe, I don't think this has ever been done, but maybe Shereé could come in like halfway through the season or something, and maybe that'll be interesting. But it is what it is. As far as Kenya, in the words of the Shawnee O'Neal, thank you for your services.
That's it.
That's it.
Boom. I appreciate you. Thank you, Emmanuel. Mel, you're up.
Hey, Diva, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, you know what? This Kenya thing is just so interesting to me. First of all, I don't know. I just feel like I wish that Candy would have advised Kenya a little better because obviously Candy has a different relationship with Bravo. She really does. She knows every single thing to do to get multiple shows.
Better talk now.
You know, to get multiple shows, get the highest salary, to get all this stuff. But the thing that the ladies were saying before about Candy was that that she really didn't sort of show them the way. You know, they was felt left out every time they wanted to negotiate with her. She got the better deals. That was the same thing that happened with her group Escape. So it's kind of funny to me that Kenya is one of her best friends. I think really their friendship came up because of the hatred they have, rightly so, or whatever, for Phaedra. That's really the foundation of their friendship. But she didn't really advise her very well because Kenya thought that she could pull the Cookie Lady Stunt 2.0, and it got her, bitten right in her backside, basically. And so that got her taken out. She was out there doing too many stunts. And, I think that Kenya disappointed me because when she first got to the show, I liked her very much. But, I just wish that, just to be serious on this point, Kenya does have a wonderful history. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful mother. And she has, she's a part of Black history, basically. So it really is beneath her to do these stunts that she's done these past couple of years. If you're a beautiful, gorgeous queen, you don't really have to do that much stuff because it lowers your dignity, I think. It just lowers you down. You really don't have to do that. I mean, you can read, you can be on point, you can give your shade, but I don't think you have to do stunts. Stunts is like Love and Hip Hop. That's that kind of thing where you're just doing things for shock value. So I think that she made a mistake. She made a mistake and then got her really caught up out there. And that's what's going on. I think that's what I feel about that. But I really think that Candy could have done better. But again, that's the pattern. She is a pattern that most of her close friendships, they always surprised that she's able to get these deals and it don't really it doesn't go the way of her best friends, allegedly. So I'm surprised about that. I'm really disappointed with Candy too.
Yeah, and you know what? But Kenya is 53, right? If you get to that stage in your life and you can't read the room, then I gotta say it's a shame on you. It's a shame on you. And I want to say that Bravo recently, because of everything that's been going on with the Bravo network, with the different people that are suing Bravo, I want to say they upgraded or they changed, that policy and added a little bit more to it. So that again was a refresher that, okay, what y'all did in the past, y'all not going to get away with that nonsense anymore. And for you to still do that, it's a shame on you.
Right.
But I agree with, go ahead, Mel.
No, I agree with you. And I was going to say this too, because you've said this a lot of times too. And I really think it really is a good point for now. When other people have been dissatisfied with Bravo, they've come back maybe a couple of months later or a year, whatever. Kenya she was a Bravo girl. She was like, I'm back at Bravo. I'm having a good time. It's the best time of my life. She's celebrating. She's not really seeing, the struggles of her other sisters, whether it be Garcelle, Nene, or whoever. She's like, they making it up. It's not, she's putting it down. So now within a couple of weeks, she wants people to, feel sorry for her when she was tearing down other people's struggles that was having difficulties with Bravo, whether they were right or wrong. She definitely was a big voice when it came to people, saying, I'm having difficulties over here. And she said, well, I don't see it. As long as that check was coming in and she was, renewing her contract. She last year she was with Carlos. She was questioning if she was coming back. So she was real in that moment. When the checks came in, she's skipping down the road with Portia, like I'm back. I'm having. So I can't buy it. You made a big mistake. You said Bravo was a really wonderful workplace. It's not like me and the other people when they went away for a year or so and they came back and said there's some issues here. I'm trying to get other work outside of Bravo. I'm having some difficulty. You said a couple of weeks ago this was the best time of your life. So you got egg on your face, Miss Moore. You really do.
You hit me on the side with that one, Mel, but you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. When they get in the check, all is good. But then afterwards, all of a sudden, you're going to sue because it's a toxic environment. And you glad that you and baby Brooklyn no longer have to be in this toxic environment. But you were the one that was begging the courts that Mark Daly allowed you to film your daughter in this toxic environment.
Right. And the turnaround is fast. I mean, this is probably, if she was to bring a lawsuit right now, it would be the fastest that's ever happened because most of the ladies have to really think about it for a couple of months. You just said, Miss Kenya Moore, you just said, I'm not sure, maybe in April, it was just the happiest time of your life. You about to rip these girls apart. You was about to do all your such and shows. You was about to really show out. This is going to be the best season ever of Atlantic Housewives. You're happier than you've ever been. And now your stunt got you caught up. And now you decide that you want to sue. Now this one I can't buy. Like I love a suing Black woman, Miss Diva. I really do. I want to support a woman who's suing every single time, especially if she's part of the community. But in this case, I can't support it because it just is too fake at this point. It was only a couple of weeks ago when you said this was the best workplace of your life. So
that part you better remind the people, Mel.
Yeah,
it came out of her mouth.
It did, and
out of her mouth. Yes, you better talk, Mel. Okay. Yes. So listen, guys, we're gonna go ahead and roll into the next story. So the next story is Wendy Williams. The more this stuff that comes out with this story, the sadder it gets. And unfortunately, when you look up this guardianship thing, it happens too often, than not. There are many, when I say regular families, I mean families that we may not know their name, but they just amassed a lot of money and their mother's money was taken and all of a sudden they was put in a guardianship. I read one story where the woman said she went into a nursing home as a rehab because she was in a car accident. And the next thing you know, she was part of a guardianship and they took all her money. And she said it took her forever to get from underneath this guardianship. It was so sad. But let's get into the Wendy Williams story where her girlfriend said, listen, I know Wendy Williams had $55 million because I was staying with her and I saw the paperwork. So where's Wendy's money? Okay. So Wendy Williams had $55 million in the bank before the Guardian took over and told her she had no money left. Court docs claim. Wendy has been meeting with the Bank of America in effort to leave Wells Fargo. So Wendy Williams had $55 million in bank before her guardian Sabrina took over and told her she had no money left, per the court documents. In an affidavit submitted to New Jersey court and exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Wendy's best friend of 44 years, Regina, claimed to have seen the star's Wells Fargo bank statements. A sworn affidavit was submitted to the court by a friend of Wendy Williams, alleging the star had nearly $55 million in her accounts. The friend claimed that after seeing the account records and just days later, Wendy's guardian Sabrina told the TV star she had no more money left. In July of 2022, Wendy invited me to stay with her in New York City for an extended period. Wendy's childhood friend claimed in the affidavit. During that visit, Wendy expressed to me that she wished to explore options regarding her estate, specifically a possible change with her current financial institution. She also shared with me documents from Wells Fargo showing a cumulative balance of nearly $55 million. The friend went on to claim that in December of that year, she was invited to join Wendy in a meeting with another bank. Wendy has scheduled an appointment with the Bank of America's private banking group. which included the senior vice president, private client advisor, wealth strategy, market director, and several others that outlined the best products available, she wrote to the court. I remained present during the entire presentation, she added. Following the meeting, I witnessed Wendy handing the Bank of America proposals and documents to Miss Sabrina. As we were all in the same vehicle driving to the courthouse, she continued to claim. However, just days later, Wendy's friend claimed a dramatic turn was revealed. Days later, I returned to my home in California and received an urgent call from Wendy's then publicist. The publicist claimed to have overheard a conversation between Wendy and Sabrina, whereas Sabrina gave Wendy the unfortunate news that there is no money in Wendy's accounts. The pal continued in her court affidavit. In disbelief, I immediately contacted Sabrina. Sabrina and I have been in regular contact, and I fully expected her to tell me there was some sort of miscommunication. But instead, I was blocked from all communication with her and denied access to my beloved friend, Regina Rowe. May 1 of 2023 was the first time I spoke with Wendy, the friend said before signing the document with the disclaimer. I hereby affirm that the foregoing statements are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. The affidavit was submitted by Regina in Wendy's ex Kevin Hunter's divorce case. Kevin continues to battle the guardian in court. This has been since his agreed to servants payments in their divorce suddenly ceased when Wells Fargo froze Wendy's accounts and Guardian Sabrina took over the former TV host affairs. The divorce proceedings, Wendy's ex-husband, who was also her, the Wendy Williams executive producer, has accused the Guardian of depleting the host's finances in a court hearing in April. The supposed hearing happened in divorce court over financial matters. Wendy's ex, Kevin, has been back in court after his divorce payments from the star ceased in 2022, when Wendy's bank, Wells Fargo, froze her accounts. The former TV exec and father of two has been working to get former TV host financial records from the time since they divorced through her being placed in a guardianship. Kevin has argued that the records are needed for his discovery to bolster his argument that payments should resume. During the hearings, Kevin brought up a case in which Sabrina was named as a defendant and was accused of being involved in a racketeering scheme involving another ward who is not under her guardianship. Miss Sabrina is under a RICO investigation, and there is a lot of malfeasance, Kevin alleged in court. I have no problem with arbitration. I just want the documents from the finances, he told the divorce judge, Michael Katz. There were belligerent lies in what Sabrina, has been telling us, and we still haven't seen the bank records, and she's supposed to give us access to retirement accounts. There has been gross negligence as far as her being a guardian. I don't trust this woman, Kevin went on to say. Sabrina's rebuttal was short. She denied knowledge of the RICO case Kevin referred to. The judge then told Kevin that despite any allegations against the guardian Sabrina, that doesn't make the case an emergent matter. Kevin then said, they, the guardian and Wendy's counsel, have not given me a reason for stopping the payments. If Sabrina had tried to modify the payments, that would be different. I'm not just concerned about the money, but she comes in and swooped in and depleted the accounts in that time. That has become a real travesty, the former TV exec added. Wendy has no money. During the mediation in December 2022 over Kevin's ceased divorce service payments, the mediator told her ex and his team, the reality is there is no money, a source close to this session claimed. The mediation sessions were aimed to move along Kevin's claim that he is owed money from his and Wendy's marital settlement agreement. The insider added that despite the allegations about Wendy's financial affairs, there was no proof offered to them to support the allegation that the former TV star is broke. Where am I? Insiders had claimed that Kevin has repeatedly asked for Wendy's financial records during mediation. Kevin said his ex's guardian has assured him he will have access to Wendy's financial records, but they never materialized. Additionally, during Wendy's docuseries, Where's Wendy Williams, which aired on Lifetime that was this article. This piece of the article was older. Last month, the Star said while discussing our guardianship, I have no money. And let me tell you something, and this always just breaks my heart. If it happened to me, it can happen to you. She told the camera of her financial situation. Wendy lost the show, the Wendy Williams show, after being absent for the entirety of the 13th season. So Wendy's best friend Regina submitted the affidavit to the court, claiming to have seen Wendy's accounts with nearly 55 million in them in December of 2022. This is so incredibly sad. I don't even know what to say about this anymore. Leo, what are your thoughts?
I agree, Diva. If her family don't stand up, because I've said as much as I can say about this issue, her family really need to come to the front. They need to come to the front of the congregation. They need to be banging on every drum, every pot, everything, to let people know that their family member is being taken advantage of. If there is no money, then where is it at? That's the question. And I'm really starting to look at the court system for the guardianship within New York State. That is just corrupt. It is truly corrupt. And I'm not saying that other states don't have corruption, because I also read articles just as well as you have that has gone on with California, where they don't have, they have a guardianship too. So I mean, even with the Britney Spears thing, because everybody say how she cuckoo out her mind, but let's keep in mind she earned that money. If she want to fall off the rocker and do whatever she want to do with her money, everybody else get to do whatever they want to do with the money that they earned, even if they have lost their mind. There's a lot of cuckoo people out here spending their money that they earned.
That's true.
So it's either a choice between whether or not the guardianship gonna spend the money, or whether or not the person that earned the money can spend their own money. So I just don't, even if she was losing her mind, and I don't appreciate the fact that the court system has not given her any type of due process to be able to even have the family come in and have, even if we're not saying that the family needs to get the money, we're just saying that the guardianship need to be evaluated. We're not saying that Kevin is due right all this money. I'm just saying that he's asking for the documents for this to be evaluated. And I don't understand how come the finances cannot be evaluated by all outside entities. So that lets me know that there's something going on within the guardianship system, that outside entities cannot evaluate the finances. If the people is saying she ain't got no money, then where is that?
Where is
then
it?
what happened to it? She only been under the guardianship for like two and a half years. How $55 million gone?
Whew.
Somebody need to answer for that. Somebody needs to answer the question. Like, where is the money if it's not there? Who got it? Because Wendy ain't got it. And why is it that she is not able to speak to her family? Why is this okay?
Yeah.
Who is looking out for her? And I do agree with you, Diva. I only got $1 in one account and $1 in another account, and I got several, checking accounts, a savings account. I even got a business account. So I have different monies in different banks. So I it's just a cautionary tale. Don't leave your money in all of one bank. Put $10 here, $10 there, whatever the $25 you need to keep your credit union account open. Whatever it is. But don't have it all in one place, because things happen, and you don't need one account that another person can get access to and wholly wipe you out. I think the bank is in cahoots. I think her financial advisors that she had at the time are in cahoots. I think at one particular time that Kevin was in cahoots with them too, until they kicked him out. And I'd be mad.
I feel that way too. And
I'd be mad.
Yeah, naturally did. And they sold her house. So where is this money?
Where's all the money? And if somebody need to be held accountable for not answering these questions, and I don't know what the next steps will be, but somebody need to be held accountable to answer these questions, because inquiring minds want to know. And I also read an article with some investigative reporters who talked about all the lawsuits that was against this Sabrina, this guardianship, and how saw all these different people who don't have a good name like Wendy Williams, how they've been getting them all over New York and California. So I mean, inquiring minds want to know, and I think people need to be outraged, and I am outraged, and I am disgusted. I'm off the line.
I agree with you. Thank you, Leo. Felicia, you're up.
Well, I don't really comment on this, but what I always say is I'm always praying for her son, and I am amiss as to why this is something that is happening when she has a son. And she is, like you said, she went to work every day. She earned her money. And like you said, you don't see her out. You didn't see her out here filing bankruptcy and filing all kind of frivolous lawsuits. I don't know. With one child, I just don't know how she did not document what she needed to have done. Even, I'm amiss. I can't figure it out. And if someone is to come forward, he is the only person. He's the only true heir to come forward. And maybe people are getting in the way of him doing that. Because at the end of the day, it's his money. It's his inheritance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, the ex-husband, the sister, the father, the son. And maybe people are getting in his way of getting economic justice for him and his mother.
Yeah. So sad.
He needs to lawyer up. He needs to go the individual way and lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Felicia. Julius, you're up.
The story of, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
The story of Wendy is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Jr., either talk to your cousin and y'all lawyer up together and get to the bottom of this mess. Because something isn't amiss here. And we seen in the documentary, her niece started to question.
Mm-hmm.
Her niece was like, okay, well, what's going on? And we seen the lucid conversation between Wendy and her niece.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was starting to get it. Like someone is stealing money from me. But it is up to her son as her next of kin to lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe ask his cousin, because out of her whole family, that's the only other person that seems to care about her. Oh yeah, I'm going there to figure out what the heck is going on. Because Will Selvey, the quote unquote guardian, they've been in cahoots and everything else. We seen it. Why sell her house? So where's the money from that sale? Because New York real estate, especially at Wendy's status, we know it's a pretty penny. Where's the money? Like we said at the beginning of this year is the year of exposure, and things are being exposed.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Julius. Tay, you're up.
I agree with Julie said. The two cousins need more of right here, because this is going too far right now. And tell you what you call the start with the G word? What's her name? Susan, whatever her name is. She need to go to jail, just like William and that sisters too. Those three right there need to go to jail because they took Winnie money. That judge, you better recase this case right now, because Winnie didn't need to go back to her family. because this gone way too far when we got sick. This is our hand right here. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Sebastian, you're up.
Hello, y'all not gonna like me for this story because I'm gonna have to lay down the groundwork and the facts and everything. Okay. Diva, you probably remember this video a couple months ago. You were talking about Sabrina Morrissey and her background. Sabrina Morrissey has contributed campaign donations to the judge who appointed her onto the Wendy Williams case for her finances. Sabrina Morrissey is very problematic. Not just that, not just Sabrina's problematic. The state of New York, the state of New Jersey, the state of
Continue talking, Sebastian, because we connecting tonight.
The state of New Jersey, the state of Massachusetts, California. Where else? A lot of those states. I'm not even going to say what I recall those states, but they're the same color as the sky in terms of politics, like to have control and regulation over people's finances. This is why I'm going to let people know this. If you are ever sick or are in the event of closer to not being on this earth anymore, you better move. You better move, or your family might have to deal with probate and a whole bunch of other issues. Move before you pass. Move. Yes. Move before you pass. It is a very problematic thing. It's a very problematic thing. And this thing that Diva said about the Wendy Williams money, it's not just to Wendy Williams. This actually happens to regular average day people. Middle income people, this happens to them. I remember on a blogger a couple months ago did a story on the same guy, a guy who was a construction worker. Something happened to him on the job. And then because he won his settlement and everything, they said, oh, because he hit his head and stuff, he does not have cognitive functions. But today he's working and he still don't have access to his settlement money.
Yeah.
So this is messy. This is problematic. I'm telling people this is exactly why we need to be very cautious on who we elect. It's not just New York. California has this issue. Number one, because if everyone watched that Housewives documentary about the Erica Jane and Tom Girardi situation, there is no way in hell how the hell did Tom Girardi get into victims' trust funds when lawyers do not have that authority? So therefore, it starts with the political body. It starts with the political system. It starts with them, the ones who make the laws on assets and asset protection, asset regulation. This woman, Wendy Williams, had her son as power of attorney, as we saw in that documentary. They said they overturned it because of quote unquote financial abuse. But y'all don't see financial abuse when this woman is up in some sort of facility and her family don't know where she is. They only get a call from a blacklisted phone number. Y'all don't see financial abuse then. Y'all don't see financial abuse when her house is being sold $800,000 less than it was bought for. This is why it's very careful. People need to be careful about their money. And there's a lot of these states who are still want to be more problematic. And I'm going to need Letitia James and Alvin Bragg to focus on this since they're focusing on many other things. This is actual issues that are affecting the average day New Yorker. Do you know how many nursing home patients, elderly nursing home patients who just lose their house and everything? This is
talking truth. You talking truth.
This is actually happening. This is why sometimes patients who are going to nursing homes, the elderly, sometimes they're screaming and they're saying, "I don't want you to take my house. I don't want you to take." This is why people think they're crazy, but they know exactly what they're talking about. This is why. Yes, Letitia James, do a better job. This is something you should be focusing on. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
Oh gosh, y'all already know I told y'all about Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a very, I don't even know why Wells Fargo still exists because they've had so many lawsuits, especially against black people.
Mm.
Um, and like your mom always tell you, never put all your eggs in one basket. You
Mm-hmm.
have to spread them around in order to keep them flourishing. And another thing is with Wendy and her son, that couldn't be my mama. Because every time I would ask Sabrina where my money at, she give me the wrong answer. She would have plenty of knots across her head. By the time I get through with them knots, I might not have no money, but I have a little justification because you can't sue me. Sue me for what? You got my mama money. I ain't got nothing. So what you gonna sue me for? She would have plenty of knots around her head because there's no possible way you finna take my mom money. I don't. I can't even talk to my mom. You don't let nobody know where my mom is. And the only thing I hope with this, I hope Wendy is pulling a con. Simply because the reason is we don't hear anything from Wendy. We don't know where Wendy is at. Maybe she's pulling that con so Kevin can't get no more of her money. I don't know. Or maybe she's pulling it because she didn't want the family taking everything that she worked for. I hope that's what the case. But we don't know. But this woman that's over it, we can't tell. Because it's just really, really weird that a person can take your money and you can't do nothing about it. I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. How can you just take my money? You didn't work for my money. You didn't do anything to achieve my money, but you can just walk in the bank and just take it. And yet still y'all stopping my family from taking it. If anything, I'd rather my family take it than a stranger take it from me and have me living like I'm a hobo. Her house was a mess. It wasn't clean. The cats and stuff was around. So you're not going to tell me Wendy did not have enough money to have her house clean or have a housekeeper or a part-time housekeeper coming in and cleaning her house. Wendy was living like a hobo, basically. You was in a penthouse, but you was living like a hobo, and we seen it. Your house was a mess. You had cat urine everywhere. Don't no rich person live like that unless something is like totally sold out. Or maybe she did this documentary to make people think that. Well, we already know that she was losing her mind a little bit, but maybe she did it to make people think that she really has lost her mind, and maybe she on an island somewhere enjoying her money. I don't know. It's just really, really weird that this woman can come in and just take over her money like that, and the family and nobody does nothing. I don't know. I hope they get to the bottom of it. It's a weird situation. I hope this woman hasn't taken Wendy money. I hope Wendy's out doing what she needs to do for herself. And maybe they seen that Wendy was getting taken advantage of. But then again, they're taking advantage of her. And like I said, I know about Wells Fargo Bank because we had our house through Wells Fargo Bank, and they got sued because they was overcharging the black people. They've got sued plenty of times. Then they had people setting up fake accounts. So Wells Fargo is got plenty stuff. They're not legit. They're really, really not legit. But either way, I hope she gets some resolution or whatever going on because it's just weird. And maybe we'll find out something later, Diva. But because this story just totally weird. I never really. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Savannah, because my screen shifted. You're up.
So this story does get sadder and sadder every time we get a little additional piece of Wendy's standings, present standings. But what it has done, I think, to all of us is to teach us a lesson that power of attorney is just not enough anymore. And we need to make sure that our affairs are in order, so that if we're ever caught in a place where we're not of sound mind, because this all started in 21, 22, with her financial advisor, Lori, deemed Wendy, determined that Wendy was of unsound mind, and that raised all the red flags in Wells Fargo. And then it just snowballed and became this avalanche that it is now. But um, some Wendy could have because the level of money that Wendy has, but we all could designate someone via our estate planning to act as the guardian in the event of our loss of reasoning. So if we designate someone as the financial guardian, because Wendy, according to the documentary, not only had a financial guardian, but she also has a separate guardian that controls her health issues. And because that person was the one who put out all the information of what Wendy is going through in all her diagnosis. But I just continue to always pray for Wendy and hope that she does come, and that the family come and we finally see where she's at and she's healthier and gained some weight. And that the family rally around each other and protect her, and it not become about money, but become about saving Wendy. And that's what I'm hoping the outcome of this story is, and that we all see this as a lesson, because this is more than just elder abuse. This is absolutely robbing someone of their livelihood, of everything that she worked so hard for. And it breaks my heart that it is, but it is a lesson to all of us to make sure that all our affairs are in order. So that because the banks, when we go in and open these accounts and we sign all those papers, I'm guilty of it too. I don't read everything and I just sign and here's my money and hold it, direct deposit, whatever. And I have a couple of banks as well, but it's in the fine print. It does say that the banks have the right to freeze our accounts and protect our finances from being abused. So I'll continue to pray for Wendy.
I appreciate you. Julius, did you go?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Tay, did you go?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Emmanuel, did you go?
No, but I just want to say I agree with everyone. But I would also like to say that I really want Wendy's case to be more mainstream and more talked about, because Wendy at the time was very supportive of Britney Spears when that movement happened. So I would love to see some of these Britney fans and just more people get together so that we can fight this and that we can see some good things happening to Wendy. But other than that, I agree with what everyone else said.
I agree with you. You are so correct. I just feel like her story is going under the radar, but it seems like to the best that her friend can do, her friend Reg. It seems like Reg is trying to keep this thing on the forefront, because I'm sure she's devastated. I think we all probably have that person, whether that person is a family member or a friend that you speak to all the time. And her and Wendy spoke all the time. And to go from that to not being able to speak to your friend at all, I'm sure that in and of itself is devastating. Very sad. And they used to always go on, like when Wendy had her break or her vacation from her show, she always spent some time with Reg. It's just sad that this is where they're at right now, and this is what it has come to. I really feel so bad for Wendy Williams, and I feel bad for her friends and family that just don't have contact with her. It's a sad situation. We're gonna roll right into this Ray J story. This is another sad situation too. The entertainment industry, and I don't want to just say the entertainment industry, but I'm saying that because we deal with it a lot, when we do trending topics, but just, there's so many industries that it robs the people's souls. But this entertainment industry seems to be at the top of the list. So I feel like Ray J is crying out for something. I think this is more than just simply about attention. I think something very sad is going on. Ray J says, I feel like, and y'all be careful when we have this conversation, guys, with the words. So I'm going to say, Ray J said, I feel like I'm going to unalive myself. Rants about dirty money after the BET Awards fight. So Ray J says it's all becoming too much for him to take on the heels of nearly getting into a street brawl at a BET Awards after party. He says he feels like he's going to unalive himself. Before I continue with this story, I want to say this, that many people underestimate the what do I want to say? Like, y'all may have to help me with my words, but they underestimate the value of marriage in a partnership, right? So he's out in these streets, lost. And although I feel like I know that Ray J destroyed his own family because Princess Love, she held in there to the bitter end. And she kept taking him back, and he kept disrespecting her. But now I think he really feels lost because he's just out there, right? And I'm coming to this conclusion too because I saw his interview on Club Shay Shay, okay? So Ray J said it's all becoming too much for him to take. On the heels of Nanny getting into a street brawl at the BET Awards after party, he says that he feels like he's going to unalive himself. Ray poured out his emotions with an alarming social media post in which he references a dispute that went on backstage at Sunday night's BET Awards at the Peacock Theater in downtown LA. He says he said the S that is happening is mind-blowing. It's making me feel like I'm going to unalive myself and uncomfortable with the perception of reality. His Monday morning post came hours after he was involved in a standoff outside Glorilla's BET Awards after party. Ray and a Zeus Network executive were yelling about fighting each other as bodyguards desperately tried to keep things peaceful. Ray threw a punch but didn't hit anyone. At one point, Ray grabbed a backpack out of his vehicle and charged back into the crowd. It's unclear what was in the bag, but his team was able to convince him to get back in the vehicle, and they drove off without further incident. And here is part of the conflict that happened.
As a March 2024 bride.
Let me just pause that while it's playing the commercial. Let me see if I can skip the ad.
It's me and you. Let's go. It's me and you. It's me and you. You want to fight right now? Ray J, let me let's go. Okay, move your I'll move on. You know yours. I'll move on. No. We good. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Here, dude. I'm fucking eye. Ray. No, Ray. Hey, you a businessman. You my brother. I taught you. Remember that. I taught you. It ain't about no fight.
How sad is that? It's clear that the fight isn't the only thing on Ray J's mind. He also ranted about BET locking him out of the award show, questioning, I don't know who they didn't want me to see. It was weird. Separately, he also complained, they paid me to shut up and I did. I feel bad and hate myself for it. I don't want any more of your dirty money. Disturbingly, he also says goodbye and apologizes to his sister Brandy and encryptedly promises, I'll make it right. I won't let them get away with it. Ray J's loved one was similarly concerned about him back in October 2022, when, as we reported, he made several posts talking about unaliving himself as he was sitting on a ledge. We reached out to people around Ray J to see if he's safe and to find out what's eating at him. Story is still developing. If someone you know is struggling or in a crisis, help is available. You can call or text 988 or chat at 988lifeline.org. Please, as we talk about this story, watch the words that you use. Leo, what are your thoughts?
From everything that I can gather, Ray J has been struggling for a while. And he said a lot of different things. And I think it's all culminating at this particular time. He said this, that, they paid me to be quiet. I don't want no more of your dirty money. When the tape came out between him and Kim Kardashian, he was also paid to be quiet with that. And Kim Kardashian used that tape and became a billionaire, and I'm not saying it was in one fall swoop, but I'm just saying through the years, through the access, all of that, she became a billionaire. Through Kanye, all the things, she became a billionaire. She made buku money. Whereas Ray J is not an A-list celebrity, but he is a B-list celebrity. And he has not been able, he has made money. He has, he got Raycon, he has made money, but it wasn't in the level of celebrity that Kim Kardashian came to, as well as his sister Brandy. And I heard recently, also on the Breakfast Club, that Brandy ain't speaking to him because he done went to that gutter low kind of Zeus TV type of shows that he doing, trying to make money. And he done lost pretty much a very intricate part of his stability, which is your family. Him and Brandy are down like 4 flat tires. And so to not have her in his corner when he doing his debauchery also has took him to another low. He no longer has his wife. That done took him also to another low. He don't have access to his children. So he is at a place that he has been, digging himself into over the years. And what he really needs is a very good therapist where he can talk these things out and be given the tools to work. And that's what therapy is for, to give you the tools to work through this emotional turmoil that he is going through that has been building up on him. I can't, he has the money to afford it. I don't know who are the people that are around him that is advising him, but I do pray for some healing energy to come to this young man, because this is, I'm not a part of that generation. Everybody comes to the social media and air out their things. I don't know why BET, didn't let him into the studio. Probably because they already heard he was somewhere wilding out before. Right. So, it's the before parties and then it's the after parties and all of that. They probably already got the word that he was somewhere off kilter. And so I am in the place of, I don't deny anyone's struggle. I don't deny whatever it is that he's going through. And I hope his sister and his family gather him together. And he hard-headed. So, it's hard to talk to him. He don't really listen to the people. So, I just hope they know him well enough to get to him. I think Brandy could. I got a brother like that, too, that's a younger brother. And I'm one of the ones that can't get to him when he wilding out. It's hard work. But you got, I hope his family gather around him and really give him the support and what he needs, because he is definitely in crisis.
Yeah, he's definitely in crisis. Hey, Winter, thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, Leo, for your thoughts. Felicia, you're up.
I don't know how long that tape was, that recording, about 2 minutes. And it was 2 minutes of just a whole bunch of bad looking people doing a whole bunch of bad things. He looked totally under the influence to me. I don't even. They said they were outside of Glorilla's after party. So what, did he get thrown out of there too? I think what we're seeing, and this is just my thoughts, but we're seeing what long-term, day-to-day substance abuse is doing to folks as they're coming into their maturity, into their older ages. So it doesn't look as cute and as fresh and as funny as when you were 21 or 23 or 32. So you're coming into your 40s, your mid 50s, and you are starting to really see people not be able to understand how these substances are interacting with their thinking. It's just unfortunate. And I do recall that he is known to be the substance bringer, supplier of a lot of folks. And he has some very powerful things in his bag besides a pow pow. So I recall, because you just did this Wendy story, that he was up there with her after some event show. And after that, she was really no good. So, yeah, there's a lot going on here. And yes, I agree with Leo that he needs a therapist, but he also needs a righteous person around, somebody to bring the word to him, because he's what I saw in that 2 minutes out there. Nobody looked like. Only reason why I would be out there, because I was driving through. I probably would ran a couple of people over, because that whole scene looked dark to me. Yes. It was dangerous to me. Yes. It looked like so many things could have absolutely gone very badly. And I'm really sorry he's having those experiences, but I don't understand what it's going to take for him and all these other folks in this industry to go get rehab, go get reborn, and try to do different in the second part of your lives.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Felicia. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, everybody know Ray J is the plug in California. But anyway, the way he dogged Tierra Marie out on TV and embarrassed her like that was ridiculous. And Princess is dumb as a box of rocks. You let this man trademark your name. You can't do anything with your name because he owns your name. She was with Floyd Mayweather when she got with Ray J. Ray J even left her in Vegas pregnant while he was out doing a D-binge. And she was on live crying and talking about all this. And he was saying that he wants some women to come and he's going to interview them for a show. They got to twerk or something. I'm like, this Ray J really, really going off his rocker. But he played Tierra. He played you too, Princess. He was the plug for Whitney. He was the plug for Wendy and for some more people out there. And what is this guy saying he taught you? Is he taught you the one to be the D dealer? Because I don't see him teaching him how to do music, because the music didn't flourish other than One Wish and Wait a Minute. Other than that, we didn't hear anything from Ray J. The songs that he did get on, they didn't go to, oh, I hit it first. Forgot about that one. That mom, yeah, she got some issues and stuff too. Brandon, she has some issues that done. Maybe she's back on the right track, because she unalive a person racing on the highway. Well, she wasn't racing, she was speeding. But either way, hopefully he'll go get some help. If he crying out for help, I hope he's not doing this for Zeus, because he got a show on Zeus, and Zeus put anything out. Maybe that's gonna be on his Zeus show. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And like Felicia said, all of them looked crazy. I wouldn't have been out there either. And then after, like, the BET Awards is nothing like they used to be. They used to be contained. They used to have good music. They used to have good shows. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but when Michael Jackson, Prince, and all them people was out there performing, those was when the award shows was award shows. I don't know what they are now. I don't even watch it anymore. But I just hope Ray J gets some help and get back on course, because he have done some nasty things to some women also. And maybe that just his karma slapping back in his face too. I told you that boomerang effect. But either or, we'll see. Get help, Ray J. That's all I can say. I'm
I
done,
appreciate
Diva.
you. Thank you. Savannah, you're up.
You know, for a second there, I thought I was watching the old school Source Awards, if anyone remembers what they used to be like, and all the mayhem and dysfunction, and just it used to be a all out mess. So I don't watch the awards, but I happen to catch some of the highlights from BET Awards. Um, Ray J has always, one thing about Ray J, he is a good businessman, but he's always been so obnoxious and such an attention getter that I don't blame Brandy for taking a step back away from her relationship with her brother. I think for her mental security, and just I wouldn't be involved in anything that he has going on, because um, it seems like Ray J has his new network coming out, and then wants to be in competition with Zeus. And I don't I've never watched a program on Zeus. I don't even know how to get Zeus, but they seem to have the gutter low of the low shows over there. I haven't seen any positivity coming from Zeus, and he's gonna what Ray J is bringing is even um, the scrape of the barrel. From what I heard him on doing these interviews over the past few weeks, he just seemed extremely unhinged. You could tell he is under um, something really heavy. And I really hope the mom, because their mom is a warrior. She's kind of, I've always put her to the likes of Chris Kardashian, as being a strong momager. I hope they save him and put him in rehab, but he doesn't listen. And Ray J's always wanted to be liked and accepted. And I think that's going to also be his destruction, unfortunately.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Savannah. Julius, you're up.
Ray J's always been a wild card.
Yeah.
Even when the Norwood family had their reality show, and and Brandy had to like, yo, knock it off with the shenanigans here. Like, come on. And he's still out there acting wild. I mean, Brandy has her daughter in college. She's trying to mentor her because she's trying to go into the music industry. I think it's come in with Leo saying that she pulled away from him. I'm pretty sure she loves her brother, but at the same time, it gets tiring.
Yeah.
Because how many times can you give somebody advice and attempt to guide them and they still don't act right? And so for her to pull away from her own brother, first and foremost, she probably had to pull away for her own mental health. But Ray J has nobody to blame but himself.
Yeah.
Cause he did this before. All the times on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, him and Princess, he would make these kind of statements. He has nobody to blame but himself. He is a 40-some-odd-year-old man. He needs to accept responsibility for his actions. Like,
I'm sorry.
You know, because Miss Sonia, Mr. Willie, they didn't play that. So he needs to get back to the way he was brought up.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Sebastian, you're up.
Ray J has had issues for a while, and I'm I'm honestly like at this point he needs to be taken off the streets and in a facility because it's concerning. It's concerning what he's doing. It's very concerning. He's a danger to himself. He's a danger to the many others that surround him. Just, he can be in an institution. He needs to be committed. That's it.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tay, you're up.
All I say is, Ray J, get some help and then grow up and be a man. God, you just like a wild child, like a throw and have fit, like a toy got taken. Ain't told that, Diva. I'm not a fan of Ray J at all. I've never been his fan.
Okay.
I remember that TV show him and Brady did a long time ago. And do everybody remember he had that tattoo with Brady on his what it was on his arm or chest, which one it was? I still don't like it, and you still jealous of your sister's recessing because you don't have no career, but your sister do. And Snoop Dogg, I did my research, Diva. Snoop Dogg is their cousin too.
Oh,
I don't know everybody know about that too. Look it up on WIKI. It show you who they're related to. That's all day, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Tay. Emmanuel, you're up.
First of all, I agree with Katrina. BT Awards are horrible now.
Mm-hmm.
But with Ray J, it's kind of sad. It was really sad, actually. He's becoming unhinged, and he has children, 2 young daughters. So it's such a shame.
He has a son and a daughter.
Oh, a son, yes, a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sad, but like, it's a situation where you don't want him to have these thoughts that he expressed on the Instagram post.
Exactly.
But the only person that's gonna help him is himself.
Mm-hmm.
So those around him need to try and get him to go to therapy, but he needs to completely change his lifestyle if he wants to survive.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much. Okay, well, y'all, as you come on, Tay with the education, they're cousins. All right now. Okay. Smoke, you're in the building. Your thoughts on this conversation? Because I'm about to go into my feel-good story.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. With this, I'm like, honestly, I agree with Brandy kind of just distancing herself and leaving her brother to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's coming into her another resurgence of her career, like the song with Monica and Ariana, and she has a new movie coming out in September, which looks really good. Okay. So I think she's doing what's best for her. And here's the thing, everyone said it, he's a grown man. So it don't matter how many times his mother talks to him, his daddy talks to him, his niece talks to him, or even how many times Brandy talks to him. If he does not want to get his life on the right trajectory, it's just going to be an endless cycle of just going in one ear and out the other. So I think like he needs to really, really hit his own personal rock bottom to get his life together. That's the only way he'll learn and get it and try to do better. But honestly, like being in this industry and thinking that he should be at a certain place, because let's be very honest, if Brandy Norwood wasn't his sister, we wouldn't be discussing Ray J right now as is on his own merit. That's just the truth of it. She's been constantly, now I won't say dragging him along, but she's been trying to like bring him up to the ladder of success and like have him create his own lane. But it's just like anytime she has done that, she also gets, the fallout of that as well, where she gets negatively impacted. So I personally do think that he might be doing this for attention, and like he legit needs to seek care of his mind in order to really like start to put his life back together in the right way, so that he can enjoy the second half of his life. Because he's like I didn't even know Ray J was in his 40s, which is like crazy. He acts like he's almost in like his like early 20s, and it's just like, sir, stop.
Yeah. He has to catch up with his chronological age. It's very sad. I'm gonna roll right into, because it's late. I'm rolling right into the feel good story. And you know, I wasn't here, but today's the first. But the June was Pride Month, and you know, this is dedicated to that. It's a really good story. Let's all take a quick look at it. Hold on one second. I hope I didn't close out. I didn't. Okay, good.
Data from the CDC, over 1.2 million Americans are living with HIV. Preventing and treating the disease is now possible, but that stigma still persists.
In an op-ed for the LA Times, ABC News contributor LZ Granderson reveals he's been living with HIV for years. And our own Steve Osunsami sat down with LZ for a powerful conversation on why he's speaking out now and how the virus disproportionately affects others.
It was a lot like coming out over again. I found myself apologizing a lot.
For?
Keeping secrets.
The secret that LZ Granderson has kept for nearly 15 years
I just keep thinking responsibilities.
is one he hopes that by sharing now will save someone's life.
I am HIV positive and have been for a long time. Can we please stop it with this narrative that you gotta have yourself and no one else to win a freaking chip?
He explains that for an openly gay sports reporter, writer, podcaster, and TED talker, who way back in 2013 was even called a hero for living his life so openly.
Thank you very, very, very much for this award.
That it stings him today to think that he ever let fear and shame hold him from sharing such an important truth with nearly everyone in his world.
I used to hide my pills before the housekeeper shows up.
Wow.
In my socks.
You hid your pills in your socks before the housekeeper because you didn't want your housekeeper
I didn't want my housekeeper to find
You were
out.
afraid that she would tell someone?
I just didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
If he wins this time, this will be his 7th Wimbledon title.
He says he remembers once cutting it close, getting to the Wimbledon Tennis Championships in London, because he was too afraid to go out and get the pills he needed there.
There were people dying of AIDS jokes in my environment, my atmosphere. So I kept it to myself.
Were you worried you were going to have to share that with people, or people were going to ask, or you would need those answers?
I was worried I was going to shine a bad light on my community.
He describes some of the shame, fear, and secrecy that help explain why HIV is still killing nearly 5,000 Americans each year. There's a daily pill called PrEP that prevents the disease, and still more than 36,000 people were diagnosed with HIV in 2019.
It's killing all of us, but it's really killing Black people. And it's killing Black people because we're afraid to talk about it. We whisper about it.
Yeah.
And so you have queer Black people who are dying, you have heterosexual Black people who are dying, and no one's talking about it.
He happily shares that he was inspired by the mother of the world-famous Beyonce Knowles, who flew to a Black journalist conference and told the story of her nephew, Johnny, who died of AIDS.
I was just like, I have to do my part.
When did you learn that you were HIV positive?
So we were in Grand Rapids. I was with my partner, who's now my husband, and I was getting my hair done. And I started to get like this huge like wave of heat. And I started to sweat, and then everything went black. And the only thing that came back was that I was positive.
He has a son who was a teenager at the time, and they kept him from seeing the test results.
The thing that went through my mind was the fact that my son was there in the room. I remember saying to God, I'm not done yet.
And you weren't by any means.
That was,
yeah.
It was like, it was just about him. I had to take care of him.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that's what I was thinking about.
Outside of a hip, he's worn down playing basketball.
That's the thing I've always wondered.
LZ Granderson is in great health. His son is now a successful and grown man, but only learned about his father's health condition a few weeks before this interview.
It went really well.
Okay.
The first thing he said was, wow. And then he says, I'm proud of you, Pops. So I'm very grateful that God kept me.
He says if just one person hears him now and goes to get the medicine they need, or starts thinking of people with HIV as having a medical condition and not a moral one, then revealing his truth will have been more than worth it.
We can stop this. We can take care of ourselves. We can live healthy, productive lives. We can't do any of that if we don't get past the shame to ask for help.
Oh my, just think about the amount of people that he's going to help just by telling his story.
So many people.
And so many thanks to Steve and to LZ for sharing his truth. You are loved, my brother. I want you to know that. You can celebrate Pride with ABC News by tuning in to some of the largest marches and parades on our Pride Across America special this Sunday, June 30th, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, streaming on ABC News Live and Hulu.
You may have seen or even been helped by this.
I'm very familiar, Diva, with LC. I know him. I've seen him on all my political shows. Oh my God, I did not know this.
Wow.
His story was impactful.
Wasn't it impactful? But you know, it translates to many other things too. Sometimes shame will stop us from a lot. Shame will kill us. Let it out. Yes, God bless him. I thought it was an amazing story. God bless him. You know, don't let somebody shame you into anything. So glad he felt the strength to speak up. I don't know. I'm just happy for him. Listen, guys, I did a late train. It is late for me. I'm a little tired. Okay. Now my flight is getting to me. But I'm always grateful when y'all come and y'all share time with me. So thanks for being here tonight for Trending Topics. Of course, I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, it's on and popping because I don't have any more scheduled vacations coming up. So I thank y'all for being here. Thank you for watching. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, y'all know the routine. Hit it on your way out the door. Good night and goodbye, everybody. I'll see y'all next time.
Do not cheat the diva or it's strike down. Choo choo and pee pee.